Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
The Supreme Master's written poetry really touches my heart. I said, she reaches people internationally. Why don't we do something that's international?
Loving the Silent Tears, the musical part 15 of a multi-part series. Please continue watching to find out more.
Veganism is a huge investment. At the individual level, it has power to increase quality of life in every category and to lower the risk in every category. At the macro level, it has the power to revolutionize a nation. Harvey Lewis, vegan.
If you visit Aruba, you will be greeted with bon dia, which means hello in Papiamento, one of the official languages of Aruba. I'm Sagar. The carefree people of Aruba wish that you make each day count and always remember God. May His love move through us as we extend a helping hand to those in need. Loving the Silent Tears is a Broadway-style musical inspired by Supreme Master Chin Hai's profound poetry collection, Silent Tears. Directed by Tony nominee Vincent Patterson, with choreography by Emmy winner Bonnie Story, the musical takes us on a magical train ride to 16 countries across 6 continents. It's a journey of fantastic dances and songs performed by award-winning artists from around the world, as well as a voyage of finding inner peace. This extraordinary musical was premiered on October 27, 2012 at the Grand Shrine Auditorium in Los Angeles, California, USA, to commemorate the 19th anniversary of Supreme Master Chin Hai Day. As you can see from the previous episodes, Loving the Silent Tears was a great success. All the actors, actresses, singers, dancers, costume designers, makeup artists, and lighting and sound technicians collaborated with each other seamlessly and delivered an unforgettable musical experience to the audience. What inspired these top-notch artists from diverse backgrounds and fields to take part in this production? What was the invisible thread that connected them together? We will continue our train ride to journey back in time and uncover the making of Loving the Silent Tears. Let's start part 15 of this series.
Everybody, we're going to go back. Please reset.
So I created this show of reaching 16 countries and 6 continents because the message of the Supreme Master is such a great message. And the work tells the story of humanity in search for inner peace. The Supreme Master's written poetry really touches my heart. I said, she reaches people internationally. Why don't we do something that's international? And so this musical is international. Myself and other writers composed music to her poetry. All these composers who were the best in the world that I recommended it, and all of these singers won Grammys and Tonys from Broadway worked on this piece because they saw the spiritual nature of it.
I'm lucky to work with possibly the best artists in the world, from Plácido, Domingo to Celine, Dion, and Barbara Streisand, etc. I mean, Barry Manilow. I happened to produce an album called Amore Infinito that had also the lyrics written by the Pope, John Paul II, which kind of ties up why I'm here right now with you, because when you write music for lyrics, has also to do with music. Every poem that has a beautiful content inspires you to write. And when I wrote the music, mainly I responded to what the lyrics were. And the lyrics are all about, enlightening, love, all positive things. That kind of a message is so beautiful nowadays, is that what we all need. The spiritual, profound, deep thoughts and emotions. Your eyes, your ears, your heart. I did in the Brazilian style because it's very, very happy, live, rhythmical and positive. And the other one, Eternal Game, I chose kind of a 6/8 rhythmic pattern that also has a lot of Latin American roots. But it was world music because I had a cast of different people from different countries, so I wanted to have them, being comfortable with that environment.
You have scored and arranged for countless well-known films and TV series, from In the Heat of the Night to The Curious Case of Benjamin Button and the Harry Potter film. How do you feel about being part of Loving the Silent Tears?
I was so thrilled to work on Loving the Silent Tears. The Supreme Master was new to me and her philosophies, but as I delved into her lyrics, I realized I was part of some large force of positive and goodness in the world. Each piece that I wrote for Loving the Silent Tears was written for a different part of the world, and so each was a different challenge to try to take indigenous instruments that will be played live on stage and write music that encapsulates the flavor of the country, utilizing the Supreme Master's lyrics. I always try to bring emotion to life through music, and particularly these poems, there was plenty of emotion built into the lyrics. So I wanted to bring some form and some architecture to the song so that the melodies would be memorable. The Ireland piece, I used a Celtic harp and a tin whistle, and the voice that I'm writing for is a very high voice, a la Enya. And the African voice is Jody Watley, and that's got 3 backup singers to be a chorus to sort of support her in their singing and using African percussion. And the France piece, I used an accordion in that. And the lyrics, they start sort of downbeat and questioning, and then they turn into something triumphant and big, and that became kind of a Broadway-esque, more Broadway-esque kind of piece.
We will have 5 chants, and I'm going to give indications saying 1, 2, 3, measure 2, so we'll know, or 1, 2, 3, measure 1, so we'll know. 118. 1, 2, 3, play. It's been 6 weeks here. I got demos that had been hand played by these brilliant composers, and they were very simple on piano, and I got to work with them. And then I got phone calls from the director, Vincent, who's endlessly creative. And then on top of that, Bonnie Story, who is as creative on a different level, and Vincent editing and focusing, and then Bonnie creating and moving. And the thing is I have just a touch of a lot of music because when I was growing up, my father and mother played all sorts of different kinds of music. So we were the perfect team to come together.
I'll just give you a vocal and music together and a click. You can do it in 3 tracks. All right.
The thing I really loved writing was the Italian number for Mark Giannicello. He's brilliant. I went on YouTube and I saw many of his things and heard him sing. So I felt I really knew his voice, so it was wonderful to write for that voice. I wrote the opening number. And then Supreme Master Ching Hai's poems. Her humor is so strong in that. And then she can become so deep in her thought process. The lady is fantastic.
I produced Aretha Franklin's first hit record of Rockabye Baby. I did Steve Lawrence, Go Away Little Girl, which went to #1 in the country. Goffin and King were at that, Jerry Goffin and Carole King. Edie Gourmet, Andy Williams. I've written a lot with the great French artist Charles Aznavour. So I do my own songs, but I always did other people's songs so I felt they were good. And then I just getting movie offers. So after movie offers, I was offered to do The Poseidon Adventure with Maureen McGovern and The Morning After, and that went to #1 around the world. So from that, I went from The Towering Inferno, and I wrote an animated musical called Pete's Dragon for Disney in the 70s, Freaky Friday. Loving the Silent Tears was exciting. I wrote 3 songs. All these cultures that I feel a oneness, and it's the music and the poems I put together gives the oneness that we desperately need.
People involved are all at the top of their game. And so to see all those efforts come together for this highest good is totally inspiring to me.
I'm really proud of being part of this wonderful, wonderful musical.
Compiling and putting together this particular show was a small miracle. We were able to choose the poems and find the order they should be in and how to find a build in it in 3 days. And this has never happened before. Finding the bones of the piece, the structure and the skeleton, it just came like a gift. In this particular collection of poems, what really jumped out at me were the wonderful rhythms, and they cry out to be sung. But on top of that, there's some incredible wordplay, just the way that one word is juxtaposed to the other. In the poems, there are references to Master, and it's quite clear that Supreme Master is not referring to herself. She's referring to whatever it is that created this earth, whatever force it is that allows the earth to bear fruit, to bear grain, to have wonderful animals, to have all these diverse cultures, diverse music. And there is someone, some being, some force, and that is the Master. And we need to recognize this, and we need to share a belief in this force, this deity that everyone shares.
The way I got inspiration for this piece is by reading the poems, the philosophy and the flavor of the poetry. It informed everything. We wanted to keep the story simple so that the poems could be that heartbeat behind it. And so it is a simple story, but a profound story. And I think I love that best. Everyone was on the same page, believing the same possibilities. We had a conference call with a director whom I've never met, and he was instantly talking about how much dialogue was between songs, very happy to know that we'd constructed it the way we had. And then he was saying, and then I just know that the Russian song should be the first act closer. And so we, of course, were going, that is such a good idea. And of course, around the table, we're going, because we'd already had it that way. And it was just one of these, again, one of those marvelous moments where everyone was already thinking the same thing across all of these poems, all of the possible way the characters could have been constructed. We were all so much on the same wavelength putting this together. It was really magical.
Ready for a productive day.
Yes,
Good morning.
I was nervous to get here, and I'm very overwhelmed because the cast is just, oh my God, just so much talent. And right now I'm here with Heather Park herself from New York. We have Flo, who's also from New York, but originally from France.
I arrived yesterday, and I didn't know what to expect, and everything was amazing, and we just started rehearsals.
Meeting all the cast from all the different countries to celebrate peace through our different cultures and our different songs. That's a really lovely theme.
So I'm Kay, I'm from Hong Kong. I just arrived in LA last night.
I feel very honored to be working along with so many other singers.
I try to remember everybody's face since this morning because we are a large bunch of people, and I try to look at everybody's picture and try to oh, this is you, all right.
To fly out from South Korea to be here in California to be part of Loving the Silent Tears, it's an amazing feeling. I feel very blessed.
So what I'd like to do, tell you a little bit about what this is, so everybody's on the same page. She wrote some beautiful poetry, and composers translate these poems into songs. So the story that we have, there are two travelers. We're on the train moves. We go to people appearing from different countries and doing scene songs. We're back on the train. It's at the Shrine, all-night event. This is a passerelle. The orchestra is in here. There's a live orchestra, and it really had an incredible cast. Really an incredible cast. So it's all very exciting.
I collaborated with Michael Jackson for 17 years. The Bad Tour was Michael Jackson's first solo tour. Prior to that, I had done a few wonderful projects with him. I danced in Beat It. So I got to know Michael really well. Madonna was also another wonderful creative being who I had the opportunity to work with for many years, I think about 12 or 13 years. We got along really, really well.
When we talk, everything we talk about, every subject, every object that we mention, we have the picture in our head. So you know what? It really works. I can sort of tell when you don't have a picture in your head, all of you.
Loving the Silent Tears, I like the idea of having a show like this and what's behind it. But when I was first approached, I thought, oh, this won't be difficult because it was poems that had been created into songs and dances that would accompany them. As we went on, it got bigger and bigger and bigger, so that it then became a story attached to the songs, and the cast went from one size to a bigger size to a bigger size to a bigger size. So now we're talking about something that's, fairly close to almost a cast of 100 or more when you figure the orchestra and the principals and the ensemble and the two extra companies that we're bringing in. So from the first conversation to today, we've really expanded this project. I've been doing extensive research. Since this is dealing with cultures of many, many countries, we're literally circling the globe with this project. I had the first production meeting the other day, and I went through the script and talked through sets and sound effects and costumes and things like this. It's a mammoth, vast production. On this project, on Loving the Silent Tears, everyone so far has been so positive and so kind and with such open hearts and a beautiful perspective on how to live life. So I'm hoping that the outcome of what we put on the stage will reflect all of the love and the energy and the goodness and the positive energy that we feel in putting this piece together. We have some amazing people lined up, and they're all very, very talented on the world stage. For the dancing cast, I'm absolutely blown away because the project that I did for Cirque du Soleil, we were fortunate enough to have some of the most amazing dancers who exist in the United States. And the majority of them are now going to come over and do this project with us. I'm handing the choreography over to an amazing woman who's been my friend for 25 years, who's worked beside me for many years. Her name's Bonnie Story, and she's an amazing, amazing choreographer.
Now, this is the deal. We're coming in with a bass. We have tons of steps, tons of everything. 5, 6, 7, 8. Did you guys do? Let's top it up. Here we go. Point, side, cross. Frame, frame, frame.
Usually you come in and you do the same old like step touches like behind, you know, the characters and you're done. And this one we get to do dances from all over the world and the actual dances from that country and that culture.
1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. I don't think I've really seen anything like this with all the different changes of countries and really switching from one aspect to the other. So I think we're really in for a really good treat.
It's just really nice to be a part of a show that has such a great message, something that shows the human evolution of people and how they can change.
This has just brought this new breath of fresh air into my life, and I love it. Very blessed to be here.
The dancers, they're the paint that I get to paint with and that Vincent gets to direct. They get to make the story come alive for people. We have so many good dancers that are excited to be involved, and they are going to play a huge part of the overall picture. All the different countries that we're representing, I'm just trying to represent the country and represent what these poems are about. They're beautiful. I just love the experience of working with so many different kinds of artists from different countries and different backgrounds. Very seldom do you get this opportunity, and I think that's what makes me more excited to be a part of it than anything. It's positive, it lifts people up, it takes them for a journey for the better.
Vegan, cause compassion is action, talk is cheap.
Courageous viewers, we appreciate your company today for Loving the Silent Tears, the musical, part 15 of a multi-part series. Please join us again on Friday for part 16. Up next is Ukraine, the world is with you, part 1 of 4, right after noteworthy news. May you find tranquility and peace of mind in your daily activities.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/AJAR.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/AJAR.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/AJAR.
Манай нэвтрүүлгүүд олон хэлээр гардаг. Цочтой хаяг suprememastertv.com/schedule болон suprememastertv.com/AJAR